We ain't far away of getting rid of this ship. But here is something that we never imagined ever have seen, but we will see and listen to it.
Hey, you. Alright, I'm gonna throw a little history your way to bring everybody up to speed that may not know the events that led up to what's going on now. Back in 2582, while humans were expanding the United Earth Empire, UEE for short, a nav jumper named Carla Larry discovered a star system that we now know as Nix. The UEE came in, scanned the place up, and called it a bust since the planets were too hard to terraform and the resources were too difficult to extract at scale. A company called QV Planet Services came in, mined what they could, then abandoned it. Fast forward to the Messer era. The Messers were a line of fascists that ruled the empire with a Hugo Boss-sleeved iron fist, characterized by warmongering, greed, corruption, and abuse of power that galvanized the extreme elements by sensationalizing the Xi'an alien race as a threat. A group called the People's Alliance had enough of their BS and saw Nix as their shot at a life outside the dictatorship. So they flew to Nix, opened up the abandoned facility in a giant hollowed-out asteroid, named it Levski after an ancient Bulgarian revolutionary, and welcomed in persecuted people fleeing the empire. Eventually, an anti-Messer revolution formed and reached a crescendo with the genocide of a sentient race while terraforming a planet. And then, one night, the ruling Messer, who had just got his sleep number dialed in, was killed in his bed, ending the Messer's genetic reign. Life returned to normal and went on as everybody sipped their Coca-Colas and looked up at the stars in the Empire and in Nix. Moving up to last year, September 2955, a new startup company starts making claims that their Genesis terraforming tech could adjust to harsh climates that were the result of previous terraforming. For example, Microtech wasn't planned to be a winter wonderland, but after an error during terraforming, that's what they got, and it became an ideal location for the Microtech company to purchase and use the frigid temps to keep their server farms cool. Centuries before that, Mars had a terraforming accident that killed almost 5,000 people, possibly being the fault of AI used in the project. So nobody's quick to risk another Mars tragedy in the Empire. So, what would they ever do now? Well, by November, they're conducting terraforming experiments in Nix. No permission, no notification. They just show up and start Genesis terraforming Nix 1. And it's working, and working well. So the UEE starts talking about pulling a 180 to go back and claim Nix. As far as they're concerned, it's an unclaimed system. While they're doing backroom drug deals to split the pie, Aceto, a communications corporation responsible for relaying data from the comrades, succeeds with faster-than-light communications that allows people to communicate instantly across star systems. While all this is going on, the People's Alliance is 2 years deep into defending itself against Vandal raids happening without warning. The most targeted group are an unknown group of hostile humans who have set up shop in the old QV space stations. If you go in and assault the stations, you'll find loads of Vandal being kept in cryopods. Now we arrive at today. The people of Levski are sick and dying because of a mysterious fungal infection from the air filters produced by Geisen Inc. Geisen makes a bunch of cheap products, clothes, armor, and industrial systems. Why a bargain bin company known for cheap clothes and quality control issues is making industrial systems, I'm sure I don't know. But they are headquartered in UEE space in a system called Farron. So Geisen, a UEE corporation, has possibly unwittingly inflicted a deadly but treatable pandemic in the heart of the People's Alliance. You might see where this is going. The UEE's response to the pandemic is quick. They send out the Alliance Aid Relief Group to deal with the fungus and filters, or requesting you and I to bring in material, fight off opportunists in the way, and most diabolical, relocate scores of People's Alliance to UEE space for treatment. Meanwhile, the UEE is discouraging anybody from entering the system. The Empire is using emergency powers for political absorption. Textbook historical moves with better shaders. Infect and weaken the natives, dispatch help, relocate and assimilate the natives, colonize the land, profit. The FTL communication mentioned earlier could be a key piece. It means they can control the narrative faster than dissent can mobilize. Instant propaganda, instant justification. We didn't invade Nix, we saved it. Now watch this drive. There is another possibility for the pandemic. The terraforming has worked surprisingly quick. faster than expected. It could have created the fungus as a byproduct or a catalyst for the fungus, which was carried back to Levski, making the terraforming a happy accident for the Empire to quickly turn in their favor. Who knows how it'll end up, but we may end up choosing sides between the People's Alliance and the UEE, expand the Empire or help the underdog. Did the UEE sabotage the filters? Geisen Inc. is known for negligence, which is useful in providing plausible deniability. Whether Imperator Addison has sanctioned this plot or not, she'll deny it, and we could see some internal conflict within the Empire. Who's the hostile group in Nyx? Are they covert Empire that antagonized the Vanduul in the hope of running the People's Alliance off? Was that just some collateral from collecting and shipping out Vanduul bodies for Dr. Jorah to experiment on? Wherever they are a destabilizing force in Nyx. Aside from the unethical possibilities with your Messer-era chic with better PR, the potential for Star Citizen to have dynamic star system ownership is a very cool prospect. Changing who controls the system through story that you participate in is the bee's knees for the real OGs. Empire says it's helping. Rebels say they're being erased. And you sit in the middle. Not just red versus blue. Faction reputation would matter. Political identity among players would matter. It gives whole star systems political arcs instead of just static labels. This empire good, that empire bad. Know what I mean, Vern? But I'm just a country bumpkin making waves from the Clipper pilot seat. What are you thinking?
Yeah, you heard it. Conspiracy. Ooh, conspiracy. Pandemic stuff. Ain't a coincidence. Now we totally failed. We wanted to do this easy peasy, more or less, sort of a cargo retrieval. Fly there, retrieve the ship, and get out of it. But we failed. And so now we are back at Ruin Station because that was our respawn point. Now we are heading back to New Babbage. This time with a big ship. It's a long day. It was a long day, and a new day arrives. And we will be happy at that very moment when we see that we finished this event called Star Citizen's Ailment, and not a FOMO event. And the only reason why we actually participate is the outlook of a crafting bank. Portable crafting bank. And that is probably a motivator for almost everybody doing that. Besides all the other people who always do these sort of events. Yeah, what we actually wanted to do is to show you how miserable we are piloting the RSI Meteor, and maybe you had seen the very last step It wasn't intended. We wanted to do some cargo retrieval. Means hopping out of the ship, EVA over to the cargo ship and bring the boxes over to a trestle. But we didn't even manage that. It's not even the fighting, no, it's not even getting out of the ship alive. And we tried yesterday to give some honor to the RSI Meteor and doing some ship combat. And we actually need to say we really suck in it. And we also do not like it. And it's not that we suck because we don't like it. And it's also not because we don't like it we suck. No. Ship combat is just not our thing. It's absolutely not our thing. And when we had seen how the RSI Meteor behaved, I mean, when we managed to land a hit, it did some damage. But what was it? An eclipse or something? A small tiny slit in space? Pretty fast? Hard to hit. And so when we aimed at the eclipse, it aimed back at us. Superhero landing. This is all pressured ice. And we have also a reclaimer. And a Zeus. And when we look at the contracts, or better said, the progress we made so far, we want to make 50% today. That is the goal. Unfortunately, Wrath would be on the way as well, but his mouse has no battery left. It's been a long day. it's no accident that they choose my critique. Because it doesn't even matter if you come through Pyro to Stanton or to Nix.
Quantum travel engaged. Quantum fuel, 50%. Quantum travel complete. Shields on. Shields off.
Yeah, we tried to do that simulator thing. To practice a bit. Get down. loosened as the use of fresh eyes.
Thanks for visiting New Babbage. And
Yes,
remember,
no
from the
problem.
mobi-glass on your wrist to the heart-pounding thrills of your favorite sim, Microtech is working hard to push innovation further.
Shields off. Quantum travel complete. Contact. shields. Attack on shields. Weapons off. Shields on.
Destroyed. Shield system offline. Contact. Quantum drive is now on. Quantum drive is now off.
Almost, they got me.
Weapons offline. Quantum drive is now on. Quantum drive is now off.
shield system online.
Why? Yeah, this grid is a little bit weird. You really need to place the boxes properly in order to get the grid. Yeah, almost killed me. That box almost killed me. Finally. Took a while.
Shield system offline.
Vision turrets, worst enemy.
Quantum drive is now on.
No. Hell no.
journey worth taking. Systems on. Shields off. Attack on shields. Shields off.
Yeah, we suck at everything. We really suck at everything.